Ladies and gentlemen, tennis fans and proud supporters of Philippine sports, welcome back. If you have been scrolling through your feeds in the last 24 hours, you've seen it, you've felt it. The video that has not just gone viral, but has sent a literal shockwave through the sporting community here in Asia and arguably across the tennis world. We are talking about the footage coming out of the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center. It is grainy in parts, shaky in others, captured by fans trembling with excitement. But the message it sends is crystal clear. The Queen has returned, and she has brought the storm with her. For the first time in what feels like an eternity, but is actually a historic first for the WTA Tour, we are witnessing a phenomenon on home soil. The headline is screaming shock, but let me correct that for you right now. This isn't just shock. This is awe. This is the realization of a dream decades in the making. Breaking news, and we are diving deep into this immediately. Alexandra Eala, the Philippines tennis sensation, the world number 49. The girl who stopped traffic in Melbourne just days ago has touched down in Manila. But she didn't just arrive. She didn't just check into her hotel and hide away. She went straight to work. The viral video in question, it captures Alex Eala's very first practice session for the inaugural Philippine Women's Open. But here's the shock factor. Here's the twist that has everyone talking. She wasn't hitting with a foreign coach. She wasn't isolating herself with her elite European team. She was sharing the court, trading ground strokes, and sweating it out with her own fellow Filipina talents Teniel Maitis and Steffi Aludo. The image of these three Filipinas, Eala, Maitis, and Aludo, standing shoulder to shoulder on the center court of the newly refurbished Rizal Memorial is powerful. It is symbolic, and quite frankly, it is the most significant image in Philippine tennis history since the days of Felix Barrientos or Cecil Mamiet. Why is this shocking? Because usually when a superstar returns, there is a barrier, there is a distance. But Eala has shattered that. This practice session, which was supposed to be a quiet tune-up, turned into a spectacle. Reports on the ground tell us that fans were lining up, pressing against fences, just to catch a glimpse of a forehand warm-up. The energy described by onlookers wasn't that of practice. It was the energy of a Grand Slam final. This video is viral because it represents a collision of two worlds, the elite, global stardom of Alex Eala and the gritty, homegrown passion of local Philippine tennis. It signifies that the Philippine Women's Open, a WTA 125 event, is not just another tournament on the calendar. It is a coronation. Tonight, we are not just covering a practice session. We are dissecting what this moment means. We are looking at the mechanics of Eala's game as she transitions from the hard court of Melbourne to the humidity of Manila. We are analyzing the Eala effect, how one 20-year-old is single-handedly forcing the tennis world to look at Southeast Asia. We will talk about Teniel Maitis and Steffi Aludo, the local wildcards who are now thrust into the global spotlight alongside their idol. And we will answer the big question. Can Alex Eala handle pressure? The Australian Open showed us she can draw a crowd, but it also showed us the weight of expectation can be crushing. Now, multiply that crowd by 1,000, make them all her countrymen, and put her on center court in Manila. Is this the moment she cements her legacy, or is the homecoming pressure too much? Buckle up. We are breaking down every frame of that video, every quote from the press conference, and every angle of the draw. This is the deep dive you won't get anywhere else. This is the story of the Philippine Open, a historic arrival to understand why a simple practice video has garnered hundreds of thousands of views in a matter of hours. We have to strip away the hype and look at the context. We are currently in January 2026. The tennis calendar is brutal. The Australian Open is the opening act, the grand stage. Alex Eala was there. She fought. She lost in the first round to Alicia Parks, but that loss was different. It didn't feel like a defeat. It felt like an announcement. The crowds in Melbourne were unprecedented for a court of that size. Novak Djokovic talked about it. The international press wrote about it. But that was Melbourne. That was away territory. Now she is home. The Philippine Women's Open is a WTA 125 tournament. For those of you new to tennis hierarchy, this is a professional tier just below the main WTA Tour events. It is a serious tournament with serious points and serious prize money. And it is happening in Manila. This has never happened before. When Eala stepped onto the court at Rizal Memorial, she wasn't just a player, she was a host. The viral video shows Eala in her practice kit, looking sharp, looking focused. But the camera pans, and we see who is on the other side of the net. It's Teniel Mites. It's Steffi Aludo. The both Pinay factor, solidarity on court, let's analyze the both Pinay aspect of this headline. In professional tennis, practice partners are chosen very carefully. You usually pick someone who mimics your upcoming opponent's style, or you pick a hitting partner who can feed you specific balls. For Eala to choose to practice with Mites and Aludo is a statement. Teniel Mites, a rising star herself, has been granted a wild card into the main draw. Steffi Aludo is battling through the qualifiers. By sharing the court with them, Eala is doing two things. First, she is acclimatizing to the conditions. The Rizal Memorial courts have been refurbished, yes, but every court has its own speed, its own bounce. Who better to rally within players who have been grinding on these courts, who know the dead spots, who know how the ball flies in the Manila humidity? It's a tactical masterstroke. Second, and more importantly, it is a gesture of leadership. Eala is signaling to the country that she is part of this team. She isn't an outsider visiting. She is a captain of this ship. In the video, you can see them laughing between points. You see the camaraderie. This humanizes the superstar. It tells the thousands of young girls watching that video, I am one of you, and you can be here too. The technical breakdown, what we saw in the video now. Let's get technical. I've watched the raw footage multiple times, frame by frame. Here is what we are seeing in Eala's game ahead of a round of 32 match against Russia's Alina Kareva. Her footwork is sharper. In Melbourne, against Parks, she struggled slightly with the sheer pace of Park serving. Here, on the practice courts, Eala looks to be focusing on early preparation. Her racket head speed is immense. We saw her trading heavy cross-court forehands with Mites. The sound of the ball off Eala's racket, that distinctive crack, is different. It's the sound of a top 50 player. We also notice her working on the return of serve. Kareva, her upcoming opponent, is a solid player, ranked around 140 in the world. She has a flat, penetrating game. In the practice video, Eala was standing close to the baseline, taking balls on the rise. She is aggressive. She isn't planning to defend her way to a title in Manila. She plans to dictate. And let's give credit to Teniel Mites. In the clips we saw, Mites was holding her own. She wasn't just feeding balls. She was engaging in a rally. This is crucial for Mites. Imagine the confidence boost of trading blows with the world number 49. When Mites steps out for her own first-round match, she won't be intimidated by anyone because she's already practiced with the best player in the draw. The atmosphere, the shock of the crowd, the title says really shock, and we need to address the crowd aspect. Usually, practice sessions are quiet. Maybe a coach, a physio, a few stragglers. The video shows a perimeter lined with fans. We are hearing reports that security had to manage the flow of people just trying to watch a practice. This is the Eala effect. We saw it in Melbourne, where Court 6 was overflowing and fans were chanting midpoint. Now, bring that passion to Manila, where the cultural connection is 100% stronger. This is a double-edged sword, and this is the crux of our analysis today. Can Alex Eala handle this? In her press conference, she admitted that the attention in Australia was overwhelming. She said she is learning to compartmentalize. That is a very mature word for a 20-year-old. Compartmentalization means separating the emotion of the crowd from the mechanics of the next point. But Manila is different. In Manila, they aren't just fans. They are family. They are neighbors. The pressure to win, to perform, to not disappoint is suffocatingly heavy. When she missed a shot in the practice video, you could hear a collective gasp. When she hit a winner, there was applause. During practice, this creates a gladiatorial arena. Eala is no longer just playing tennis. She is performing a national duty. The viral nature of this video proves that the country is watching her every move. If she adjusts her visor, it's news. If she drinks water, it's news. This level of scrutiny destroyed many young prodigies in the past. But Eala seems built differently. She has the Rafa Nadal Academy training. She has the mental fortitude. The significance of the Philippine Women's Open, we must take a moment to discuss the tournament itself. The Philippine Women's Open, being a WTA 125 event, is a massive milestone. For years, the Philippines was a tennis desert in terms of high-level professional events. We had the SEA Games, we had Futures. But a WTA event? This puts Manila on the map. It gives players like Aludo and Mighties a chance to earn WTA points without spending thousands of dollars on airfare to Europe or America. It creates a local economy of tennis. And it is all anchored by Eala. Without her rise to the top 50, without her Grand Slam visibility, this tournament likely does not happen, or at least it doesn't get this level of attention. The organizers have done a tremendous job refurbishing the Rizal Memorial. The courts look blue and pristine in the video. The branding is professional. This is the stage Eala deserves. The opponent, Alina Kariva, let's not forget, there is a match to be played. The viral video is nice, but the reality is Monday. Alex Eala faces Alina Kariva. Kariva is Russian, tough, and experienced on the ITF circuit. She has a career-high ranking inside the top 150. She is not a pushover. She knows the pressure is all on Eala. Kariva has nothing to lose. She can swing freely. If she wins, she's a giant killer. If she loses, she lost a favorite. Eala, on the other hand, has everything to lose. A first-round exit in her home tournament would be devastating for the narrative. That is why this practice session was so intense. That is why she was grinding with Mighties and Aludo. She knows she cannot come in cold. She needs to be red hot from the first ball. The viral nature. Why this matters, why did the specific video go viral? It's not just the tennis. It's the narrative of unity. In a world where sports can be cutthroat, seeing the top dog, Eala, uplifting the underdogs, Mighties, Aludo, resonates with the Filipino value of Bayanihan, community spirit. The comment section of the video is flooded with pride. People aren't talking about her forehand grip. They're saying, thank you for coming home, and good luck to all our Pinay queens. This shifts the pressure. It turns the crowd from a weight on her shoulders into the wind beneath her wings. If Eala can harness that, if she can use the crowd's energy rather than fear it, she becomes dangerous. She becomes unbeatable at this level. Deep dive conclusion. So, as we look at this viral clip, we see more than a practice. We see the passing of the torch, and simultaneously, the lighting of a fire. We see a tennis ecosystem in the Philippines that is finally waking up. Eala is the spark, but Mighties and Aludo are the fuel. This tournament, this week, is going to be historic. The shock is simply the world realizing that the Philippines has arrived on the tennis stage to stay. As we wrap up this extensive analysis, I want to leave you a final thought on what we are about to witness this week at the Rizal Memorial Tennis Center. We live in an era of instant gratification. We scroll, we watch a 10-second clip we like, and we move on. That viral video of Alex Eala practicing with Teniel Mighties and Steffi Aludo, it's easy to consume it as just another piece of content. But I urge you to look deeper. What we are seeing is the culmination of sacrifice. Think of the years Alex Eala spent away from home, training in Spain at the Nadal Academy, missing birthdays, missing Christmases, enduring the loneliness of the tour just to reach this point. Just to be able to come back to Manila, ranked in the top 50, and headline a tournament on her own soil. That video is the payoff. The crowds lining the fences are the payoff. But the story doesn't end with the practice session. The story is just beginning. Monday marks the start of the main draw. Alex Eala versus Alina Kariva. Teniel Mighties versus her destiny. Steffi Aludo fighting for her spot. The shock that the headlines talk about? The real shock will be if we, as a sporting nation, do not rally behind this moment. This is rare. We have seen Manny Pacquiao fight in Vegas. We have seen Gilas Pilipinas play in World Cups abroad. But to have a legitimate, world-class tennis star, in her prime, playing a sanctioned tour event in downtown Manila, that is a unicorn event. The legacy in the making regardless of the results this week. Whether Eala lifts the trophy or bows out early, the impact is already solidified. There's a young girl somewhere in Cebu or Davao or Quezon City who will watch the highlights of this tournament. She will see Alex Eala. She will see Teniel Mighties. And she will pick up a racket. That is the cycle of greatness. That is the power of the viral video. It's not about the views. It's about the visibility. My call to action for you. So here is my challenge to you, the viewer. If you are in Manila, go to Rizal Memorial. Tickets are selling out, but find a way. Be there. Be that shocking crowd that lifts our athletes up. Don't just cheer when they win. Cheer when they miss. Cheer because they are there representing the flag. If you are watching from abroad, stream the matches. Share the content. Keep the algorithm working in favor of Philippine sports. The world is watching because we made them watch. Let's keep their eyes on us. This has been a special deep dive into one of the most exciting weeks in Philippine sports history. The practice is over. The warm-ups are done. The viral videos have been shared. Now, it is time for the first serve. Alex Eala is home. The storm has arrived, and we have the best seats in the house. And this has been your comprehensive breakdown of the Philippine Women's Open. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And as always, keep the passion alive.